Hello everybody, this is Not a Pro Gardener here, and today we're going to be talking about the joys of having this garden. It is one of my great pleasures that I get to wake up every morning to see these beautiful, beautiful plants we got growing out here. Got them all nice and neatly in their row, and all this food is just waiting to start popping. Spring planting is just finished. It's all done. We have gotten everything hold on a minute. Something's missing. No. Peppers. It's peppers. I knew I was forgetting something. I just couldn't quite put my finger on it. Everything's completed, but the last thing we got are these peppers. And I found some eggplants in this tray. We got to get those in. Got the tomatoes in. Next is the peppers, eggplants, and then it'll all finally be taken care of. Cannot believe I almost forgot that. Yeesh. Gee whiz, guys, I'm glad I just about got that all figured out. Can't believe I almost forgot it. You just get that feeling that you're forgetting something and you just quite can't put your finger on it. Man, that feeling just bugs me all get out. But that's just how it is when I got so many things going on. Alright everybody, so like I said, this is Not a Pro Gardener here, and today we're going to be transplanting, change of plans. Today we're going to be transplanting peppers and eggplants, the last row in the garden. We're going to be doing that today. We just had a big rainstorm last night, so we got to do it today because all next week looks like a stormy chance of rain, and I'd like to get them in. So the reason we like to transplant our peppers is because it gives you a bigger plant to put in the ground, so you don't have as much trouble. It's hard to control Mother Nature. So if you have just a plant instead of the seed to put out there, you have a better chance of that plant surviving, because you got dogs, wildlife, Mother Nature, and many other things that could probably go wrong. So we like to transplant our peppers because it gives you a jump start on production, which is always good. Some people don't have that long of a growing season. Some people have trouble growing them. And usually we don't have that much trouble growing them. We are in a new garden spot this year, so that might cause some issues. Peppers seem to like well-drained soil, which this is clay, but we hilled up a little hill. It's kind of washed away a little bit now, but we tried to put a raised row in and to try to help alleviate that problem. But peppers prefer a high phosphorus content in your soil. And what we did was we already made the furrow, put the drip tape down, and then we put down a Harmony 543 with some extra calcium in the furrow about a week or so ago, so it's ready. We went ahead and got all these in for the sake of video. We already got that taken care of, so all we got to do is talk about it, drop them in the hole, and tell you what varieties we got going on. And stick around for the rest of this growing season for harvests and more. Alright, so some problems people have with peppers are calcium deficiencies. Like most nightshades, like tomatoes and eggplants, they need calcium. You know, that blossom end rot on the bottom of that fruit, it gets a lot of people. Some of the solutions you can have to that would be your gypsum, pelletized gypsum. Put it in the hole at planting and at bloom set. And another key feature is a regular watering schedule, so it can take up that calcium. Because if you have some days where you don't get watered right, like if you have an inconsistent watering schedule, you're going to have some problems for uptaking that calcium through the root system, because that's where it gets taken up through. Not through the foliage, through the root system. So you want to have a regular watering schedule and add that pelletized gypsum in the hole before planting, and you want to put it at bloom set at the base of that plant and kind of work it in a little bit, and it'll usually do right by that. I've always had pretty good luck doing that, so you can usually get that at your big box stores or other places. You'll find it somewhere. The internet's a pretty powerful thing these days. Now, another problem some people have is they usually get a lot of foliage, a lot of those leaves, but they just don't seem to make a lot of peppers, or any sometimes. And that can be caused by too much nitrogen in the soil, but I've recently found out that can also be caused by temperature swings at the bloom set. So it could be hot, cold when you got flowers on, and that'll kind of stunt it a little bit. Some people have problems with the yellowing of the leaves, which sometimes is caused by too much water or too much fertilizer or not enough fertilizer. It's kind of a play it by ear kind of thing. Just have your watering schedule and a balanced fertilizer schedule to where you can balance out the nutrients it needs throughout its life. Now, some people have this problem. Some people don't, but most people have this problem, is they have too many peppers. Heck of a problem, right? But it is a problem. Sometimes you just cannot quite cook enough of them. You just can't do it. And there are some solutions to that as well. Last year I come up with the solution of canning them. We like fajitas here, so sliced them up, canned a bunch of them in a can, and then I always have those bell peppers on the shelf, which worked out really nice. Pressure canned them, obviously. You got to do that. And something else you could do is you could gift them, but another one that I'm going to try out this year is fermenting. You can ferment your peppers, and I'm really looking forward to trying that this year. We're going to be making a fermented hot sauce or cooking sauce, depending on how it turns out, which I'm pretty excited about. So, and to touch on the note about the constant watering schedule, is another tip for that would be drip tape. Almost a must-have for a lot of veggies out there, but it gives you that consistent watering schedule, and you can put fertilizer right at the roots with an injection system. It's hands down one of the best things I think I've ever done for my garden. And the beginning of the season, you don't have to water in our zone because there's just so many showers going on, you know. That's just how it is. And I only use it to inject fertilizer for like the first half of the season, which is awesome because it's like a one and done kind of thing. I can just walk away, which is like, it frees up a lot of your time, is what I'm trying to get at. And I recommend looking into that as well for yourself. Now, for the eggplants, I am by no means a pro at doing any of this stuff. I'm just telling you the story of how I do it and when we go along. Now, eggplants, I've never grown eggplants before, but I really wanted to try it this year. So, I did a little research. I watched some videos on YouTube from M.I. Gardener. He's got some good videos on eggplants. You got to check him out. But an inconsistent watering schedule can cause bitterness in your eggplants, which I didn't know that before, but stressing having a good watering schedule helps you out a lot for a lot of things. So, like other things, I'm pretty sure cucumbers, if you don't have a consistent watering schedule, if they get a little stressed and dry out a little bit, they will turn bitter on them, and you don't want that. So it is a thing. I've had it happen to me before with cucumbers. Now with eggplants, they like their warmer weather. The temperatures out here are plenty warm enough for these eggplants, so I have no problem putting them out. And I'm thinking that they will do okay. This will be my first time growing them, so if you have any tips or tricks or anything, help out this not a pro gardener here, and put them in the comments below. I'd love to see them, answer them, whatever you got, just let me know. Always love to learn new things. So just let me know what you got, and I'll check it out. And like the peppers, you can crowd eggplants together. It encourages their production. Like peppers out here, we're planting them 12 inches on center. This drip tape we have, as a matter of fact, also has a 12-inch spacing on the drip emitters, which helps out a lot. So I just dig down and find that emitter, put one right on there. That makes my spacing. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to get the list. We're going to get the list of what we're going to be putting out here, and we'll talk about them, and then we're going to show you how we do it. So Let's go. All right, everybody. These are what's left of the transplants in this tray. I kind of mixed this tray up with a bunch of different stuff. But these little guys right here, these are the eggplants we got from Johnny's. Root balls just a little bit underdeveloped, but it'll go in the ground just fine. They look nice and lush and healthy. So they're in the pepper family, so that's kind of why I'm planting them together with the peppers. So hopefully that does right by me. I've heard that everybody else does the same thing, so let's see how it goes. I'm gonna go ahead and pull the rest of these out and talk about them as I go. All right, everybody, like I said, I already pre-dug down each hole to the emitters. Just dig it down until you can find that drip tape emitter and put it just to the side of it. And then we're going to be putting a handful of this pelletized gypsum and kind of mix it around in the bottom of this hole. And that ought to set them up for their blossom end rot. Let's go ahead and get these guys put in. I'm going to put 5 of these Orient Express eggplants in the row of the peppers here on the end. So let's go ahead and get these guys in. Okay. All right, everybody. So now we got these dragon cayenne peppers. They don't look too bad. We're gonna go ahead and put these in right after the eggplants there. These did pretty good last year and the year before that, and we kind of use them for sometimes I like to make my own spices with it. Of course, you don't need that much because they're pretty hot, but I also like to keep these and I dry them under a porch, hang them up and dry them to make animal repellent spray with them. It's one of the components I use to dry them up, blend them up, and mix them in to make that stuff for animal repellent spray. And that usually works pretty good for me. Next thing we got is some old pepper seeds. I was going to use these for stuffing. They're Sweet Big Daddy pepper. I think it's a yellow pepper. And they're kind of small root ball, but these transplants are kind of small. I'll give them that. But I kind of like to put them in like this because it gives them less transplant shock the smaller plant you have. And I got so many of them seed started that if it dies, I can fill it right back in with another one. It's no big deal. Don't forget to put your gypsum in the hole. You can kind of be a little sloppy with it. It's not a big deal. Mix it around in there. Don't forget that. Next we got is this. I did these last year. The King Arthur bell peppers. They do look pretty good. I gotta say, they've been in the tray for a little while. They could have obviously been in there a couple more weeks. They'd been fine. Most people pot them up. But I'm going to be putting a Florida weave on these, so if they end up getting stepped on or something, I'll just fill them in with more. That's why I seed start more than what I need, so I have backups. That way I ensure I always have the food I want. Now, these guys are our early sensation bell pepper transplants, and they look pretty good. Pretty happy with these. These guys did very well last year, just like the King Arthur bell peppers. They make a good team in the garden, in my opinion. They do really, really well. Alright, for these last ones, I got 5 of each variety, and I'm just going to go ahead and tell you what they are and show you the root balls and all that. I'm going to plant 5 of each of these, and these are going to be for my fermenting pepper sauce that I want to do. So, the first one we are going to do would be this this roulette habanero pepper. They look pretty healthy. Nice and stout looking. They're doing pretty good. Pretty happy with these peppers. These peppers are supposed to be, the roulette habanero peppers are supposed to be a heatless variety, which is supposed to keep all the nice flavors of a regular habanero without the heat, is what it's supposed to be. So, pretty excited about that. I want to impart some good flavors in this sauce, and I thought this would be a nice one to try for it. So, we're going to go ahead and plant these. The next ones we're going to be doing is this Numex Suave Orange. I believe it's a habanero pepper. Another heatless variety, if I'm not mistaken. I got these from Johnny's. They don't look too bad. They're ready to go in the ground. Most people would disagree, but I'm not going to be potting these up. And some people are probably going to say that's a mistake, but if it is, I'll just replant them with my extra transplants if something happens to them. The next one after that, this is going to be the pepper that adds the heat to my hot sauce, is the Flaming Flare from Johnny's. These ones took off. These were the first to germinate, and they took off running. And hopefully do that when they hit the ground running here when I put them in the ground. So we're going to go ahead and take care of this, and then we will come back and talk about all this when we're done. All right, everybody. Alright everybody, we got all those transplanted peppers and eggplants today. Whew. What a fun one it's been. Most of these days I try to get this stuff in and it's been kind of muddy. Little rain here, raining all the time now. But I had to get them in, so. Now, the fun part is to watch them grow and get that weeding done. Everybody loves the weeding. I highly recommend, if you're like me and you plant a lot of stuff like this, I tend to forget where and what I planted. Make yourself a list. So, I'm going to rattle off what varieties we planted, and just to kind of get you updated on what was out there, just in case I missed it. We got the 5 Orient Express eggplants. We got 2 Dragon Cayenne peppers. 2 sweet Big Daddy peppers, 3 King Arthur bell peppers, 3 Sensation bell peppers, 5 Roulette habanero peppers, 5 Numex Suave orange peppers, and 5 Flaming Flare peppers. Some of those are just specifically for the hot sauce or the pepper sauce, whatever it turns into. It'll be the first time. And I'll probably do a video on that when the time comes of that fermenting process and all that stuff. So, we got all these planted, which is awesome. Now my favorite part comes up is watching them grow, taking care of them, making sure they got everything that they need, and weeding. It's tedious work, but it's got to be done. So, I got to tell you, every year I get excited about all these new varieties of all these things that I'm trying and all this stuff. And I wonder if anybody else gets that little feeling whenever they're planting these new things and whenever they finally come to fruition. Does anybody else feel like that? Leave it in the comments below how you feel whenever you get that plan together. You plan, and you get everything put in the ground, and does it work out for you? Yeah, sometimes. How do you feel about that? Let me know in the comments below. Hopefully I'll be able to get all these to grow and show you what they look like whenever the time comes, some harvests and stuff like that. So, this is Not a Pro Gardener here. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you next time out here in the garden. See ya.